Have you ever woken up feeling weaker than the day before, struggling with simple tasks that once felt effortless? Maybe your muscles don't respond like they used to, or your memory plays tricks on you, making you wonder if this is just part of getting older. But what if I told you that it's not just age slowing you down? What if the real reason is something much easier to fix than you think? Many men overlook a simple habit that could change how they feel every single morning. It's something small, almost forgotten, yet powerful enough to help you feel more energized, sharper, and more alive, almost like you're 25 again. In this video, I'll share what that habit is and why it's so important. So stick around. You won't want to miss this. If you are not subscribed, subscribe and activate the notification bell so you don't miss any videos. If you like the topic of this video, please comment 1. If you don't, please comment 0 to let me know how I can improve and make better videos for you. Now, let's begin. Have you ever found yourself pausing halfway up the stairs, catching your breath and wondering, when did this become so hard? Maybe you've noticed that after a good night's sleep, you still wake up feeling tired, as if the rest never quite settles into your bones the way it used to. Or perhaps you look in the mirror and see a familiar face, but the spark behind your eyes doesn't feel as bright as it once was. If you're like many men over 65, these little shifts may seem like just another part of aging, something we're all supposed to accept without question. You tell yourself, well, that's just how it goes. I'm not young anymore. But does it have to be this way? Let's challenge that assumption for a moment. What if the changes you're noticing in your body and mind are not just about getting older? What if there are reasons behind this slow drift that you could do something about? It's easy to fall into the trap of thinking that aging is a one-way street, a gradual loss of strength and vitality that can't be stopped. But science is showing us something different. Our bodies and brains are much more adaptable than we've been led to believe, even after 65. So what's going on inside your body as the years add up? For many men, a big part of the story is hormones, specifically testosterone. Around middle age, testosterone levels naturally begin to decline, and after 65, that decline can accelerate. This isn't just a number on a lab test. It affects how you feel every day. Lower testosterone can mean less muscle strength, more body fat, a drop in motivation, and sometimes even a shadow over your mood. It's one of the hidden drivers behind the sense that you're not quite yourself anymore, not as sharp or as enthusiastic as you used to be. But hormones are just part of the picture. As we age, our metabolism, the engine that turns food into energy, also slows down. Suddenly, those favorite meals seem to stick a little more, and it's harder to bounce back after a big family gathering or a weekend away. The muscles that once seemed to take care of themselves now need a little extra attention. This gradual loss of muscle mass, called sarcopenia, is incredibly common in older adults, and it's a big reason why tasks like carrying groceries or playing with grandkids become more difficult over time. Layered on top of these physical changes are the chronic conditions that many men begin to face. Things like high blood pressure, diabetes, and high cholesterol. These aren't just numbers your doctor mentions at your annual checkup. They're challenges that sap your energy, cloud your thinking, and sometimes make you feel like your body is working against you. Over time, the combination of these conditions and the medications often used to treat them can create a kind of background noise of fatigue, making even simple pleasures feel out of reach. And then there's the emotional weight that often goes unspoken. It's not just the body that changes with age, it's the mind and heart, too. Maybe you've retired recently, and while everyone congratulates you on reaching this milestone, you find yourself missing the structure and purpose that work once gave you. Or maybe your social circle has shrunk, friends have moved away, or loved ones are no longer around to share stories and laughter. It's not uncommon to feel a subtle sense of being left behind, even as the world rushes on. Mental fatigue and stress can creep in quietly, making the days feel longer and the nights shorter. Yet for all these challenges, it's important to remember that decline is not inevitable. There are real, practical steps you can take to support your health, even if you feel like you're starting from behind. For example, just as the body's needs change over time, so too can your daily habits. Simple adjustments in how you eat, move, and connect with others can make a huge difference. Start by focusing on muscle strength. It's never too late to build or maintain muscle, and you don't need a gym membership or fancy equipment. Try incorporating light resistance exercises a few times a week, something as basic as squats using a sturdy chair, gentle push-ups against a wall, or resistance band stretches while you watch your favorite show. If you haven't been active for a while, begin slowly and let your body guide you. Remember, every small effort counts. Next, look at what's on your plate. After 65, your metabolism may be slower, but your body still needs high-quality fuel. Focus on lean proteins, like grilled chicken, fish, beans, or eggs, and plenty of colorful vegetables. These foods support muscle, keep blood sugar steady, and help you feel full of energy instead of sluggish. Don't forget to stay hydrated. Sometimes, fatigue is simply a sign of not drinking enough water. But perhaps the most overlooked solution is social connection. It's easy to let relationships fade as life changes, but staying connected is one of the most powerful things you can do for your mind and spirit. Call an old friend, join a community group, or invite your grandchildren over for a walk or a puzzle. These moments not only lift your mood, they give your days meaning and motivation. Let me share a quick story. A few years ago, I met Jim, a retired school principal from Ohio. After his wife passed away, Jim noticed his energy slipping away. He stopped going to his weekly breakfast with friends, lost interest in his woodworking projects, and began to feel much older than his years. One day, his daughter gently encouraged him to start small. Just a short walk after breakfast, maybe a few stretches, and making sure to eat a piece of fruit every morning. Over time, Jim found that those little changes made a big difference. He regained his appetite, began looking forward to seeing friends again, and even started teaching his grandson how to carve wooden toys. Jim told me, "I realized I didn't have to settle for just getting old. I could choose to feel better, one step at a time." If you're listening to this and recognizing yourself in Jim's story, I hope you feel encouraged. The challenges that come with aging are real, but they don't have to define you. You have more control over your health and happiness than you might think, even now. It's about taking those first small steps, moving your body, nourishing yourself, and reaching out for connection. Every positive choice is a vote for your well-being. So the next time you find yourself thinking, "This is just how it goes after 65, remember Jim's journey. Remember that your story is still being written, and you have the power to turn the page in a new direction. You deserve to feel strong, energetic, and fully alive. Not just for yourself, but for the people who love you and look up to you every single day. For years, breakfast may have felt like just another routine, a cup of coffee, maybe a piece of toast, and a sense that mornings aren't quite what they used to be. But what if there were something small, colorful, and delightfully sweet that could transform the way you start your day? Something so simple that, for many men over 65, it's often overlooked on the grocery shelf. I'm talking about blueberries, the tiny blue gems often called nature's superfood. Blueberries might not look like much at first glance, but these humble berries pack a powerful punch. Decades of scientific research have shown that blueberries are rich in antioxidants called anthocyanins, which help fight the cellular aging process. They're also loaded with vitamin C, vitamin K, and dietary fiber, all of which support heart health, circulation, and digestive comfort, areas where many older adults notice changes as they age. But the magic of blueberries goes beyond nutrients on a label. What's truly remarkable is how they can make you feel. Blueberries help improve blood flow to the brain, which is crucial for maintaining memory, focus, and quick thinking as the years go by. They also have anti-inflammatory properties that ease muscle soreness and joint stiffness, making it easier to stay active and enjoy the simple pleasures of life, whether that's gardening, playing catch with the grandkids, or taking a morning walk around the neighborhood. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 1 below to let me know that you are still here with me. Let me share a real story that might sound a lot like your own. Just a few months ago, I received a letter from John, a 72-year-old veteran living outside Dallas, Texas. John wrote that he'd always prided himself on being strong and independent. After his military service, he spent years working construction, raising a family, and coaching his son's baseball team. But as he reached his 70s, John began noticing that the things he used to do with ease, fixing things around the house, playing with his dog in the yard, even remembering the punchlines to old jokes, were getting harder. He found himself slowing down and feeling frustrated, blaming it all on just getting old. One morning at his local diner, John overheard a pair of younger men talking about blueberries. They laughed about how their doctor told them to eat a handful every day, if you want to keep your brain sharp and your knees moving. Curious, John decided to give it a try. He bought a big box of fresh blueberries on his next grocery trip, and instead of his usual sugary breakfast cereal, he sprinkled a generous serving of the berries into a bowl of old-fashioned oats with a splash of milk. At first, John didn't expect much. But after a few days, he realized he was waking up with a little more energy and even sleeping more soundly at night. By the end of the second week, he noticed his afternoon slump had almost disappeared, and he was finishing the daily crossword puzzle faster than ever. 3 weeks in, John felt sharper, lighter on his feet, and more optimistic about what the day would bring. His son even teased him, saying, "Dad, you're out there working in the yard like you're 25 again." John's experience isn't just a happy accident. His story is backed by science. Researchers at Tufts University and Harvard Medical School have found that regular blueberry consumption is linked to improvements in memory, muscle function, and cardiovascular health in older adults. One long-term study followed thousands of men and women over several decades and found that those who ate blueberries regularly had slower cognitive decline and less risk of heart disease. But what makes blueberries especially appealing is how effortlessly they fit into the rhythm of American life. There's no complicated recipe, no need for special equipment, and no hunting for rare, miracle foods. Blueberries are as American as apple pie. You can find them fresh at the supermarket, frozen in the freezer aisle, or even pick your own at a local farm during summer. And they're incredibly versatile. Sprinkle a handful over your morning cereal, stir them into Greek yogurt, or toss them into a smoothie with a banana and a splash of orange juice. You can even bake them into whole-grain pancakes or muffins for a Sunday treat. The possibilities are endless, and the habit couldn't be simpler. Best of all, blueberries don't just taste good, they bring people together. For many families, making breakfast or sharing a smoothie is a quiet way to check in, to laugh and catch up before the day starts. And if you're someone who lives alone, preparing a meal that includes something as vibrant and fresh as blueberries can be a simple act of self-care, a way to remind yourself every day that your health and happiness still matter. Of course, you don't have to eat a mountain of blueberries to see a benefit. Research suggests that just half a cup to a cup a day, about the size of a small handful, is enough to make a difference. If you're on a budget, frozen blueberries are just as nutritious as fresh, and often more affordable. And for those who need to watch their blood sugar, blueberries have a low glycemic index, meaning they won't cause a big spike or crash after breakfast. You might be wondering, can it be that easy? Sometimes, the best solutions are the simplest. Our bodies crave what is natural and wholesome, and blueberries deliver exactly that. In a world full of confusing health advice and complicated diets, adding blueberries to your morning is a joyful, easy win. No stress, no struggle. If you've never tried starting your day with blueberries, I invite you to give it a shot. For the next week, make them part of your breakfast, on oatmeal, in yogurt, or by the handful. Notice how you feel. Are you more clear-headed in the afternoon? Do you have more pep in your step? Is your mood a little brighter? Like John, you may be surprised at the change. You might even find yourself saying, "I feel like I did years ago." Remember, Taking care of your health doesn't have to mean turning your whole world upside down. Sometimes, all it takes is one small, delicious change. So tomorrow morning, when you're pouring your coffee and planning your day, reach for a handful of blueberries. It's a habit that's as easy as it is powerful, and it just might be the secret to feeling young again. What is it, exactly, about blueberries that makes them so powerful, especially for men in their golden years? You might wonder how a fruit so small can offer so many benefits. But the answer lies in what's packed inside every berry, a remarkable cocktail of natural nutrients, all working together to support your body and mind in ways you might not even realize. First and foremost, blueberries are bursting with antioxidants, nature's line of defense against the wear and tear of daily living. These antioxidants, especially the deep blue anthocyanins that give blueberries their signature color, help combat oxidative stress, which is just a fancy way of describing the slow damage our cells experience over time. For older adults, this protection is a big deal. It's like giving your body a fresh coat of paint every day, helping to keep your cells younger and more resilient. But antioxidants aren't the only thing blueberries have to offer. They're also a natural source of vitamin C, which supports your immune system and keeps your skin strong and elastic. Vitamin K plays a key role in bone health, something many men begin to worry about as they age. Add in vitamin E, which helps protect your cells from damage, and you've got a vitamin trio that's hard to beat. Blueberries are also a good source of dietary fiber, which is crucial for digestive health and helps keep things moving along comfortably, an issue that can become more noticeable as the years pass. It doesn't end there. Blueberries are rich in minerals like manganese and copper, both of which are essential for your body's natural energy production and overall metabolic health. Eating a handful of blueberries each morning means you're fueling your body with a broad spectrum of nutrients, many of which are often missing in a typical American diet, especially if breakfast usually consists of just toast and coffee. But what does all this mean in the real world? Let's connect the dots. When you make blueberries a daily habit, you're giving your body tools to improve circulation and blood flow, which helps your heart stay strong and delivers more oxygen and nutrients to your brain. This, in turn, keeps your memory sharp and your mind clear. No more searching for words or misplacing your keys as often. Blueberries have also been shown to support muscle strength and coordination, making it easier to stay active, steady on your feet, and independent as you age. And there's something even more impressive for men. Regular consumption of blueberries is linked with better vitality and overall well-being. Studies have shown that men who add blueberries to their diet often experience improved mood, more energy, and even greater motivation to keep up with their favorite hobbies, whether that's fishing, golfing, or simply enjoying a walk in the park. Perhaps most importantly for men over 65, blueberries are powerful allies in the fight against some of the most common health concerns: high blood pressure, high cholesterol, and the risk of diabetes and stroke. Blueberries' natural compounds help relax blood vessels, lower cholesterol levels, and stabilize blood sugar, all of which play a major role in heart health and longevity. These aren't just theoretical benefits. Researchers at Harvard University have tracked thousands of adults over the years, and their findings are clear. Men who eat blueberries and similar berries regularly have a lower risk of developing memory loss, muscle weakness, and chronic diseases associated with aging. One particular study found that older adults who consumed just 2 servings of blueberries per week had a much slower rate of cognitive decline than those who rarely ate them. Another study found improvements in muscle recovery and endurance in men who made blueberries part of their daily meals. But don't just take the scientists' word for it. Think about what this could mean for you right now. Imagine waking up in the morning, pouring yourself a bowl of oatmeal or yogurt, and adding a handful of fresh or frozen blueberries. With every bite, you're not just enjoying a sweet, satisfying taste. You're giving your heart, your brain, and your whole body a daily boost. It's like sending a gentle wave of renewal through every part of you, helping you stay sharp, steady, and strong for all the moments that matter. If you're someone who's struggled with high blood pressure, you know how draining it can be. Not just physically, but emotionally, too. Blueberries can make a real difference. Their potassium content helps balance your sodium levels, easing the strain on your heart. For those watching their cholesterol, the soluble fiber in blueberries acts like a tiny sponge, helping soak up and remove cholesterol from your body. And if you've ever worried about diabetes, blueberries are naturally sweet but have a low impact on blood sugar, making them a smart, safe treat. It's not about chasing perfection or becoming someone you're not. It's about making a small, positive change. A new morning tradition that's easy to keep and rewarding in so many ways. For some men, that daily handful of blueberries has become as essential as their morning cup of coffee. For others, it's a way to take charge of their health and enjoy the simple pleasure of good food every day. You don't have to imagine dramatic, overnight transformations. Instead, picture this: a gradual lifting of brain fog, a little more spring in your step, a growing confidence that you can still do the things you love. Maybe you find yourself joining the grandkids on the floor for a game, or you remember the name of a neighbor you haven't seen in months. Maybe you simply feel more like yourself, awake, alert, and eager for what the day will bring. That's the real magic of blueberries. They aren't a miracle cure, but they are a real, tangible way to nurture your body, honor your years, and support your dreams for the future. And all it takes is adding one handful to your breakfast. So tomorrow morning, when you reach for that box of cereal or carton of eggs, pause for a moment. Imagine what a difference a cup of blueberries could make, not just for your health, but for your happiness, too. It's a small step, but for many men, it's the beginning of a brighter, more vibrant chapter. And you deserve nothing less. Adding blueberries to your morning routine doesn't require a complicated health regimen or a drastic lifestyle change. It's one of the simplest and most enjoyable ways to do something good for your body every single day. For many men over 65, it can also become a special daily ritual, something to look forward to and share with loved ones. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 2 below to let me know that you are still here with me. Let's start with how to pick the best blueberries. If you're at your local supermarket, look for berries that are plump, firm, and deep blue. A silvery white coating, called the bloom, is a good sign. It's a natural layer that protects the berry and keeps it fresh. Avoid packages with any signs of mold, shriveling, or too much moisture at the bottom, as these may spoil faster. If you're lucky enough to have a farmer's market nearby, you can often find even fresher, tastier blueberries, and sometimes get advice straight from the grower about which varieties are sweetest or most flavorful. Don't worry if fresh berries aren't always in season. Frozen blueberries are picked at their peak and packed with just as many nutrients as fresh ones. You'll find them in the freezer aisle, usually at a lower price, and they're great to have on hand year-round. Just make sure to choose unsweetened, unprocessed options, plain blueberries, without added sugars or syrups. So, how do you fit them into your morning in a way that feels natural and enjoyable? The simplest way is often the best. Rinse a handful under cool water and eat them plain, savoring their sweet tart burst. Blueberries are delicious by themselves, and even just a small serving, about half a cup to a cup, is enough to provide all the health benefits you've heard about. But if you're someone who likes a heartier breakfast, there are plenty of easy, classic American ways to make blueberries the star of your meal. Try adding them to a bowl of Greek yogurt with a sprinkle of granola for crunch. Mix them into oatmeal. Just toss them in while your oats are cooking, and watch them turn everything a beautiful blue as they soften. You might also like to blend them into a smoothie. Combine a handful of blueberries with a banana, some spinach, a spoonful of nut butter, and a splash of milk or juice. It's a quick, nourishing way to start your day, and perfect if you need something on the go. Some folks enjoy using blueberries in pancakes, muffins, or even baked into whole wheat breakfast bars. These can be fun for weekend brunches or when the grandkids visit. And if you enjoy a bit of culinary creativity, you might try adding blueberries to cottage cheese, chia pudding, or even a fresh fruit salad mixed with seasonal favorites. Beyond the food itself, there's something deeply meaningful about sharing breakfast with others, a tradition that's woven into the fabric of American family life. Maybe you have a spouse or a close friend who joins you at the kitchen table. Or perhaps you have grandkids who love to help by piling blueberries onto their cereal. These little moments, talking about the day ahead, laughing over spilled milk or sticky fingers, are some of life's greatest joys. Including blueberries in your breakfast is an easy way to bring color and nutrition to the table, and it can also spark conversations about healthy habits for the whole family. Of course, a few simple precautions are wise. As with any new food, pay attention to how your body responds, especially if you have food allergies or sensitivities. Blueberry allergies are rare, but if you notice any itching, swelling, or digestive discomfort, it's best to check with your doctor. For most people, however, blueberries are incredibly gentle on the system, low in calories, high in fiber, and kind to blood sugar levels. When it comes to portion size, remember that moderation is key. A serving of blueberries is usually half a cup to a full cup, easy to measure and just right for getting all the benefits without overdoing it. If you're including other fruits in your diet, try swapping blueberries with strawberries, raspberries, or blackberries when they're in season. This keeps things interesting, and you'll benefit from a variety of nutrients and flavors throughout the year. And don't forget, there's no need to eat blueberries the same way every day. Mix things up based on what's available and what you're in the mood for. In the summer, you might enjoy them chilled straight from the fridge. In winter, try warming frozen berries with a touch of cinnamon and stirring them into hot oatmeal. If you're feeling adventurous, search out recipes for blueberry smoothies or breakfast bowls online. There are plenty designed with seniors in mind, prioritizing ease, taste, and nutritional value. For those who live alone, this daily ritual can be a gentle reminder that you're caring for yourself, most importantly, by nourishing your body day by day. And for those who live with family, adding blueberries to the breakfast table is a simple gesture that says, "I want us all to be well." If there's a local pick-your-own farm nearby, consider making a morning outing to harvest your blueberries when they're in season. Not only is this a wonderful way to get fresh air and light exercise, but it's also an opportunity to connect with neighbors and create new memories. Many communities even host blueberry festivals in the summer, an American tradition filled with music, pies, and laughter. So, as you think about how to bring this small but mighty fruit into your mornings, remember that you're not just adding nutrients to your plate. You're adding color, flavor, and a new reason to smile as you start each day. And whether you eat your blueberries plain, in a smoothie, or baked into a homemade treat, know that you're doing something lasting and good for your health. Tomorrow morning, as the coffee brews and the house wakes up, reach for that container of blueberries. Make it a habit, a pleasure, and a celebration of the years ahead. With every bite, you're not just investing in your well-being. You're honoring your story, your family, and the joy of living well, one breakfast at a time. Have you ever noticed how the small details of daily life seem to slip away with the years? It might be the way your mornings have changed. The energy that used to greet you when sunlight filtered through your curtains has faded, replaced by stiffness, a mind still clouded with sleep, and a dull ache in your joints. Maybe you shuffle to the kitchen for your morning coffee, and as you reach for your mug, you can't help but sigh. There was a time when you would have started the day ready to take on the world, tackling projects around the house, heading out for a walk with friends, or just feeling sharp and present. Now, you might find yourself avoiding invitations, feeling just a bit off, and wondering if this quiet decline is simply the natural order of things. Many older adults accept these changes as the price of aging, telling themselves that slowing down is inevitable. That's just how it is after 65, you might think. Everybody goes through it. There's a kind of resignation that settles in, sometimes so quietly you don't even notice it until a friend's voice or your reflection reminds you of all you used to be. You might even start to believe that feeling tired, forgetting names, or snapping at loved ones is just part of the deal. After all, nobody expects you to be the man you were at 25. But does it have to be this way? What if some of the changes you notice, fatigue, forgetfulness, irritability, aren't just inevitable byproducts of age, but signs that your body and brain are craving something you can still give them? What if the answer isn't to give up or push through, but to try something new? Something small, but with the potential to change your days for the better. Let's take a closer look at what's happening. As we age, our bodies do change in ways that can be both surprising and frustrating. The science is clear. The natural drop in hormones, especially testosterone in men, can lead to muscle loss, less energy, and shifts in mood. Add to that the fact that metabolism slows, and suddenly the foods that used to power your day now leave you sluggish or even cause weight gain. Then there's sleep, a precious resource that becomes elusive. Many older adults struggle with insomnia or restless nights, which only makes daytime fatigue and memory lapses worse. On top of all this, your brain changes, too. Cells don't regenerate as quickly. The connections that help you remember, reason, and feel motivated may get a little rusty. Chronic inflammation, caused by years of wear and tear, processed foods, and stress, can affect your joints and cloud your mind. Is it any wonder you feel out of sorts? But here's where the story takes a hopeful turn. Our bodies, even as they age, are remarkably responsive to positive changes. Sometimes, the solution is as simple as adding the right fuel at the right time. There is growing scientific evidence that certain foods, particularly those rich in antioxidants and natural anti-inflammatories, can nourish the body, support brain function, and even boost mood and energy. And among these, the humble blueberry stands out as a genuine superfruit. This brings us to Frank's story, a story that could easily be yours or someone you know. Frank had always considered himself an average American guy. A retired postmaster from Indiana, Frank had built his life around family, faith, and friendship. He loved baseball games on the radio, tinkering in the garage, and Sunday dinners with his grandkids. But as his late 60s approached, Frank's world started shrinking in subtle ways. He noticed he was tired more often, even after a full night's sleep. Simple tasks, mowing the lawn, climbing stairs, or running errands, began to take more effort. Worse, he felt irritable, snapping at his wife over little things and feeling deeply guilty afterward. He started forgetting appointments and losing track of his car keys. It was embarrassing, especially for a man who once prided himself on reliability. He lost interest in the weekly Veterans Coffee Group, finding it easier to stay home than face questions about why he wasn't his old self. Frank chalked it up to age. "I guess this is just how it goes," he told himself. "I should be grateful for what I have." But gratitude alone didn't bring back the spark he missed. His daughter, Megan, noticed the change. On a visit one afternoon, she found him dozing in his armchair, half watching a ball game, his energy flat and his smile forced. She missed the dad who used to light up the room with his jokes and stories. Over dinner, Megan mentioned something she'd read about the power of blueberries, a fruit packed with brain-boosting and anti-inflammatory properties. She explained that research from Harvard and other leading institutions showed that regular blueberry consumption could help improve memory, mood, and even energy levels in older adults. Frank shrugged. "Blueberries, huh? I'm more of a bacon and eggs man, Meg." But Megan persisted, offering to come by in the mornings and prepare breakfast together, just for a week, just to see. With a little coaxing and a lot of love, Frank agreed. Their new morning routine started simply. Megan brought fresh blueberries, Greek yogurt, and some whole grain cereal. Together, they assembled bowls of yogurt, cereal, and a generous handful of blueberries. At first, Frank was skeptical. "Doesn't taste bad," he admitted, "but I'm not holding my breath." If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 3 below to let me know that you are still here with me. Yet something unexpected happened over the following days. After a week, Frank felt a bit more awake in the mornings. His sleep, though still not perfect, was deeper and less interrupted. He found himself recalling details of conversations, remembering where he'd left things, and getting through the crossword puzzle without quite as much struggle. Megan noticed the difference, too. Frank's jokes returned, and so did his patience. There was less snapping, less frustration, and more laughter at the breakfast table. Encouraged, Frank kept up the habit. The process became a kind of meditation, rinsing the berries, building his breakfast bowl, savoring the bright pop of flavor. He tried different variations, sometimes blueberries in oatmeal, blended into a smoothie with banana and a splash of orange juice. The ritual, small as it was, anchored his mornings and gave him a new sense of control. By the end of the month, the changes were unmistakable. Frank's energy had increased. He started joining Megan on short walks after breakfast, then gradually ventured out to the local hardware store, then back to his veterans group. His friends remarked on how well he looked, how his eyes sparkled with humor again. He shared the blueberry secret with them, laughing about how he'd become a convert to fruit for breakfast. Most importantly, he felt like himself again. More positive, more hopeful, and, as he put it, younger at heart. "Dad, it's good to see you smile," Megan told him one afternoon as they walked along the river. Frank nodded, his heart full. "I feel like a new man," he said quietly. More positive, younger at heart, and ready to live fully. It wasn't a miracle cure. Frank still had aches and off days, but the difference was real, and it was rooted in a simple, sustainable change. Frank's story is more than just a personal triumph. It's a powerful reminder for anyone listening. Sometimes, the key to feeling better isn't found in expensive supplements, complicated diets, or drastic measures. It can begin with the smallest of daily choices. Adding blueberries to your breakfast may sound simple, but for Frank, it meant reclaiming his mornings, his memory, and his sense of connection. If you see yourself in Frank's journey, you're not alone. Countless men and women across America are discovering that aging doesn't have to mean giving up on energy, joy, or connection. Science backs this up. Studies show that the compounds in blueberries support healthy brain function, reduce inflammation, and can even help protect against chronic illnesses common in later life. Blueberries' antioxidants neutralize free radicals in the body. Vitamin C and vitamin K support immunity and bone health, and the fruit's natural fiber aids digestion. It's a package deal: delicious, accessible, and affordable. Here's how you can start, just as Frank did. Make it a habit. Buy a container of blueberries, fresh or frozen, on your next grocery trip. Keep them at eye level in the fridge as a gentle reminder each morning. Keep it simple. Enjoy a handful of blueberries on their own, stirred into yogurt, or sprinkled on top of cereal or oatmeal. If you're adventurous, blend them into a smoothie or fold them into pancake batter for a weekend treat. Invite others, like Frank and Megan. Make breakfast a moment to connect. Invite a friend, a grandchild, or a neighbor to join you, even if just for coffee and conversation. These small moments matter. Pay attention. Notice the changes, not just in your body, but in your mood, your memory, your energy. Celebrate the small victories. They add up over time. Stay curious. Try swapping blueberries for other seasonal fruits now and then for variety. The more colorful your plate, the better for your health and your spirit. You don't have to change your entire life overnight. Start with breakfast. Start with one small, hopeful step. Maybe, like Frank, you'll find that the journey back to your old spark, your energy, your joy, isn't as far as you thought. Maybe you'll look in the mirror and see a glimmer of the man you've always been, capable, resilient, and worthy of feeling well. And if ever you wonder whether something so simple could truly make a difference, remember Frank's words: "I feel like a new man, more positive, younger at heart, and ready to live fully." Why not give it a try? Your best years may be waiting for you, right there at the breakfast table, one bowl of blueberries at a time. If you've listened this far, perhaps you're beginning to see just how simple a positive change can be. You don't need to buy expensive supplements, subscribe to complicated diets, or overhaul your entire lifestyle to start feeling better. Sometimes, the best medicine is the easiest to overlook. A single fruit, a gentle habit, a moment of intention at the start of each day. So here's my invitation to you. Start small and make it real. The next time you're at the store, reach for a container of blueberries and set them front and center in your fridge. Each morning, as you brew your coffee or set the table, remind yourself that this is your time, a gift you can give to your future self. Scoop a handful of those deep blueberries onto your cereal, swirl them into your yogurt, or simply savor them by the spoonful. There's no need to complicate things. This isn't about perfection. It's about possibility. Why not turn this new habit into a personal challenge? For the next 7 days, make blueberries a part of your morning. Notice what changes. Maybe you feel more alert before noon. Maybe you catch yourself remembering an old friend's name, or maybe your steps feel lighter as you go about your errands. Perhaps you'll feel a shift in your mood or a little more energy as you start your day. Every small victory counts. And as you move through the week, I'd love to hear from you. Share your experience in the comments below this video. What surprised you, what made you smile, or even what was challenging? Your story might just encourage someone else to take that first step, too. Remember, age is just a number. Your best years don't have to be behind you. With a little care and a simple morning ritual, you really can reclaim some of that youthful energy and zest for life. The path to feeling better doesn't have to be difficult or expensive. Sometimes, it's as close as the fruit on your breakfast table, waiting for you to take the first bite and begin again. As we come to the end of today's journey together, I hope you're feeling inspired to take just one small, meaningful step toward a healthier, more vibrant life. Sometimes we spend years searching for complicated answers, when all along, something simple, a handful of blueberries each morning, can help us rediscover the energy, clarity, and joy that seemed lost to time. Aging may bring changes, but it never means you have to stop growing, learning, or reaching for new possibilities. Remember, you don't have to do it all at once. Progress comes from the gentle choices you make each day, from treating your body and mind with a little more kindness, and from believing that positive change is always within reach. Maybe it's a new fruit on your breakfast table, a friendly phone call, or a short morning walk. Whatever it is, let it be something that makes you feel alive and hopeful. And don't forget, your experiences matter. When you try the 7-day blueberry challenge, notice how you feel. Celebrate the small victories, better sleep, a sharper mind, a brighter mood. Then, share your story in the comments below. You might be surprised how much your journey can encourage someone else who's feeling the same way. Thank you for spending this time with me. If you found value in this video, please hit the like button, share it with a friend, and subscribe to our channel for more uplifting, practical tips on living well at any age. Here's to your health, your happiness, and the promise of brighter mornings ahead. Remember, every day is a new chance to feel young at heart, starting right at your breakfast table.